Hey guys, it's Robin, Our Silent Crafts, and welcome to my craft room. Before we call an end to the year 2018 and we move into 2019, I wanted to show you one more Christmas-oriented project, but actually I'm going to be making garlands. Now these that I'm showing you right here, they do look very Christmassy, but if you do it in any different color, some people like to have one of those little mini trees up year-round, and they change out the decorations based on the season or the holidays. So maybe you'll have a Halloween tree or an Easter tree, 4th of July, just whatever happens to be coming throughout the year, or maybe a birthday tree. And other people like to hang garlands and banners across bookshelves or along the ceilings of their room. Some little girls, they like to have it along their beds. So I just thought we'd work on some garlands right now because these don't have to be Christmas orientated. Let's start with the pom-poms. I have these two things of crochet cotton thread. It's a nice sturdy thread. I don't crochet doilies, but for some reason I have this. It was probably in one of those mystery boxes where someone gives it to you or you buy it on eBay and it comes with a variety of things. But either way, I have it and it's going to work. I just grabbed a nice pointy sharp needle. Gonna laugh, but no, I don't do pom-pom crafts at all. But yes, I do have pom-poms. I have this container with a variety of colors. And I also have more over here. I have these little red sparkly ones because how could you not buy these little red sparkly ones? They have, see how they have all the little fuzzy pieces that come off of it to make it sparkle? I have the smaller ones of red. I purchased these. I was crocheting cupcake scarves and I needed red cherries, so that's why I have those. And then once again, I just have a whole bunch of the other ones. Right, today we're going to use the big ones. And I was playing with just this little pattern. I think it might be the Italian flag. Red, white, and green. But it's also very Christmassy. But let's say you just wanted to make something for your daughter's room or the craft room. It's really simple. I just put a thread. I threaded my needle. I don't have a knot here at all. I don't even have a knot at the end. I am still connected to my little ball of thread. And I'm just going to pop some of my pom-poms on. See, they just slide, as you're adding them, they can just slide down real easily. Say I want to have a blue one, I just poking it kind of through the center. You can feel there's a like, not a core, but you can feel like it's maybe where they took a circle and then they pulled it up, like when you're making those pom-poms, those new furry ones. You can just feel, you don't want to just go through the side where it's just fur. But when you do it, you'll feel a core in the center that you just put your needle through and just slide it down. You can pick any size, any color. You can make patterns. If your kids are able to use, you don't have to use quite a sharp a needle for them, but if they're able to use a needle, you can go ahead and put a little knot here so it doesn't take this part right here. Add a little knot to the thread so it doesn't pull off of the needle. This one, it can pull off easily because it has a nice size hole. But then your kids can just sit here and they can just work on their color sequencing. And when you're all done, you can always just pull these right back off, take your needle off, and they'll pop all right back off of your thread. And then they can go back and do their little project or their math sequencing all over again. So this is a really nice tactile thing for the kids. And if you want, you can mix the size of the balls, you can mix the colors, you can choose anything you want. They can choose anything they want. Just try to make sure that you're getting it through the center-ish, so that it'll stay on. Well, let's add a yellow. And that's it. That's as easy it is. Make it as long as you want. If you want to separate them, you can always tie a knot or just leave them separate like this and they'll stay separated. And you can hang them up on your tree and around the house, around your room. And that's just a quick, fun little way to make a garland for a tree or anywhere else in your house. So there's the pom-poms. Let me show you how easy it is to just pull them off. I kind of find this is very satisfying too. So I'm just going to hold it here and I'm going to hold my pom-poms and I'm just going to pull my thread. Ready? And they all just pop right back off. So if you made a mistake and you want to start all over, or like the kids love repetition and they want to do it over and over again, give them a bucket of pom-poms and a not too sharp needle, and then they'll leave you alone for at least 5 minutes, right? So now on to this one. This one I decided that I'm going to go kind of a candy cane-ish, and I'm going to use some felt. I've shown you my bucket of felt scraps. So what I did is I just cut some chunks out of white. Sometimes they're rectangle, sometimes they're a little bit more square. So all I did is I took whatever I happen to have. If it was a piece that looked like this, I might go ahead and just trim it down so that I have rectangle pieces. And then I just took my scissors and I cut off chunks. Whatever size you want, depending on, you could have larger ones like this, depending on how you're going to use your project, smaller ones. I have this one threaded with the black crochet cotton thread. Since the green one was on a needle, that left the black one. Now you could go ahead and pick up some white at the store. It's very inexpensive. And once again, I'm just doing a color sequence. I'm going red, white, red, white. So my next one is white. I just jab it on the needle anywhere. I'm aiming for the center, you know, instead of going off to the side, but that doesn't matter. Or you could even stack them. Red, white, throw a red on there. And just gently, without stabbing yourself, stick them all on there. And once again, you can leave them all tight like this. I've seen them where they fill it all the way up. Here, let's see if we can get that going. And you can turn it into a wreath. You can have it in the shape of almost a Christmas tree. You can just have make a little ornament out of it, or you can stick with the garland. Red, white. Another project that's great for kids because they like busy work like this and they like to do sequencing with colors or with numbers. Okay, so then you can just bring this around. It looks like I'm going to need some more, but you can just bring it around and make it into like a wreath shape, or it looks like almost like a pom-pom. Keep going and you have it as a garland. If you want, you can alternate and put a bead in there. Those pony beads, the little bit larger ones, or a wooden bead, you can add them in between to keep it a little bit separate. And if you use a thread that you can't see, if you use a thread that matches, you won't see it and won't stand out as much as this black one. And once again, if your kids get bored or you didn't like the way it looked, you just pop it back off and you can start all over again. I've seen this thread. You can also use, you could use some embroidery floss, maybe use a couple strands. You can use your sewing thread. It's a little bit thin, but it will work. They do have some thicker threads. You know how they come in all different widths. I know they have one for sewing on buttons or hand quilting thread. Hand quilting thread is meant to be stronger, so that would work for this project. You could use, they have those balls of the DMC pearl cotton. This is a number 8 pearl cotton, so this one is a nice and thin. You see how thin that is? But it's very sturdy because once again it's a nice cotton thread, and you can use that. Before I lose my needles, we don't want to find those in our feet later on. So that's about it. So that's what I thought I'd show you. Just a quick little project for this night. If you want to have, maybe you have kids that are coming over and visiting over between the holidays and stuff, and you just want to give them something to do, you can set them down with this. I'm not sure if a plastic needle will go through these, but felt is very forgiving. You know how they have those plastic needles for the kids to weave in the yarn and stuff like that? You might be able to pop that through there, so if you have a smaller child, you won't have to worry about them in a needle. So I hope that gives you guys something a little bit fun to do. And as I said, starting next year, we'll be doing one ornament a month. I'm going to find some fun ones for us to do. I have a couple ideas already, so I'll see you next time. Bye.